Hello guys, MikuChibi here. Welcome to Sword Art Online Interfactor skill review, and today we're gonna have a look at Heavily Dancing Light Sinon, which is one of the newest skill from the Goddess Order, and it is a burst skill, a holy burst skill for bow. And we just gonna test and see how it is, how it works, and then in the end I will share you my build on how I will build around this new burst skill. Let's start with the skill animation, which is Annihilation Photon. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly. It should a big circle around it and also have a small ball that's shooting stars. This animation is not unique. There are a skill that is similar to it with the champion in the sky Sinon, and I don't really like the animation, so yeah, it is pretty bad, pretty boring as well. Nothing new, nothing unique. If we compare it to the Asuna Rapier skill, it had much better animation. I mean, at least I put something into it, but this one, they just like, let's just take from the Champion of the Sky and then put it in this one. That's all. I think it's pretty boring. It should be something special, but nope, nope. Yeah, so that is skill animation of this bow. When I used this skill normally, I was dealing 230-240k damage, which is not bad. And when you use it normally, you are giving yourself two buffs. Holy Element buff and also Enhanced Thrust buff. The Holy Element buff is lasting for 50 seconds and the Enhanced Thrust buff is lasting for 20 seconds. So you are having two buffs that has two different duration. If you're trying to get this buff when you're using the burst, it might be hard because the whole element is only lasting 15 seconds and the normal skill has a cooldown time of 15 seconds, I believe. So you will never get the whole element buff, but maybe the frost buff will be enough. Though if you are using other holy skills in your set, they will be benefit from this buff. To activate the burst, you need to follow the following sequence: Holy, Holy, Frost, Holy, which might be hard if you don't have any holy skills, though if you do have holy bow skills like me, it is easy to activate it. Now, when you activate the burst, you will gain two bonus. The first one is that when your HP is low, you'll gain attack increase max to 200%, which are really a lot. When you're at lowest, you should gain the maximum. And the second bonus is critical rate 300% towards enemy on break. Basically, when the enemy is broken, you will have 200% critical rate, which is kinda alright. I guess this can be really good for GOG mostly. That is when you can break it. For party farming, floor 17, the extreme vex might be hard to break. I haven't seen someone successful breaking it, so this bonus kinda useless, but at the same time can be really good, mostly in GOG only. So the only thing in bonus that is really great is the first one. The lower HP you have, the more attack you will get. Now we know a little bit about the burst skill, let's start out in practice. So this is going to be my set for building around the bow, the burst. I have my mod bow with high tech nurse Sinon as a fodder, but this is mostly for solo content. Otherwise I will switch it around for a better fodder. And then second skill of course is the burst skill. First skill is of course the sniping arrow Sinon. We definitely need directly courage buff because that will add more damage when we are using it when we low HP. And fourth slot, it can be anything that you really want. I added red bean Sinon for the beer buff and also more switch gain, so that can be really good and helpful for our mod skill. And for passive, it's definitely gonna run the default Power Rise 3, Power Rise 4, and Veteran Sword Technique Asuna. And last for the fourth skill, I took Abek Yuki, used for a rush extension, and also it gives you attack when I am low HP, so that's good. So that is my bow setup for building around the burst. Nothing perfect, but it definitely can be improved. The first test was the Vex the Extreme Worm. I tried to see mostly for the solo, so I had the build for the solo. I would say it's very hard to hit. You have to be really patient because if you aren't patient, you'll definitely miss your skills. And here you see I missed, so really bad. But on the second attempt I tried again to see how it went there. I used my rush here, and let's see, I'm just waiting till it land. Gonna wait. Yeah, this setup is gonna have losing a lot of DPS, a lot of damage, but it should be fine. Maybe run some second set to able to activate the burst easier or something like that. I definitely see that you definitely need a second set for this. The cooldown for the burst is 30 seconds, so you basically use it only once per rush, so that is really bad. Next up we have the Heavy Summer Lord. It is an event boss that is weak to Frost and Holy, so we can try it out. It took a while to test because I'm using this suicide set that is very risky, so if I die I lose. So I dealt 10 million damage, and that is thanks for Koharu using the death mark for double damage, and it is not bad. But now once I use all my skills, I basically have nothing to use. I have to use my basic skill. Everything is on cooldown, so that is the issue with this set and the bow itself, the burst, because the burst has 30-second cooldown. You basically only use it once per fight. That is how I felt. So second set definitely really worth it. I think you can run like suicide bow on the first set, and second set you can run a secondary DPS, maybe rapier or spear. This bow set, it definitely has a weekend. And I tried the center, the chaos, like I did for the rapier, and I tried to burst force it, but once again the same issue. The burst is so long, it takes a while to get it back. So only thing I will say is that if you're farming center, you're mostly gonna rely on your mod's bow. That's all, because your mod bow is gonna do the damage while the burst is like secondary damage, I would say. So I also tried it in party just to see if I can have more successful run, but I would say I have some issue, of course, mostly because I wasn't that patient enough. And sometimes I miss my burst, which is kind of annoying, and also the Drake used to fly a lot, which can be really annoying. Some skill issue, I would say, mostly. So yeah, I mean the burst is pretty fine, but you have to be really patient and have good combos. You definitely want to combine it with regular courage buff and other buff that you might add. The only thing that you need to time it when the Drake is up and when it's down. So that is only one issue I have. I definitely have more success with the rapier. So I'm running two sets here. The bow on the first set for my damage dealer and rapier for secondary DPS when I have nothing to do. I wasn't able to test it with rush because I always died. Because I was trying to get my HP low as possible. Try to get hit by the boss. But no success. So I had no run with rush. Maybe next time. But I don't want to keep doing it. 3 million on burst is not bad on a Drake with some debuff. Definitely can be improved, of course. I don't have the best set for bow set. I maybe shouldn't run connect, even though I really like connect bow with stacking. I love stacking. Overall, I do see this skill has some potential, though the mostly downside is that you can only use it once per rush because the cool time is 30 seconds, and definitely you don't have nothing. You're mostly gonna rely on your mod bow to deal the more damage. So for now, I feel like the bow is pretty slow. Maybe you can run it with double burst, so you're using one burst and one full burst. Maybe that's how you deal more damage, but still it's pretty slow, and you gonna have some SP issue as well because it costs a lot to use it. 30, I mean, you won't consume any SP, but using other skill to buff yourself and stuff, they gonna cost a lot of SP. But yeah, I think it has some potential, but for now it doesn't look good. But we'll see in the future how it's gonna be. Once I have a full burst skill, I can try it out with this burst as well. So that's me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy my skill review on the Heavily Dancing Knight Sinon, and see you guys next time. Take care now, and bye bye.